We say, hey guys, it's Klaus. Welcome back to another video.
So I'm going for my morning walk. It's always good to get out and do your morning walk. Why am I here? I'm visiting my parents. There's two ways you can visit your parents. One, well, I guess there's three ways. One is they can come visit you, which is not a good way, because then they have to stay with you. The second way is you can go visit them, which means you have to stay at their place. I've done that before. It usually goes like this, like I'll get there and then I'll have the conversation with my dad that they live in this place, they have their own ensuite bathroom and they have like a guest bathroom next to the guest extra bedroom, and I'll tell them, Dad, okay, now this is the guest bedroom and the guest bathroom, so you use your bathroom and I'll use this one. Okay, does that make sense? And we can keep things separate while I'm here visiting you, all the biologicals. And he listens and says, okay, that's fine. But he's got a little bit of a memory problem because he's getting a little older. So when the conversation's over, he'll say, okay, just a minute, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then he goes into the spare bathroom, the guest one, and I don't know, you hear all sorts of sounds and honking and squirting and things, sounds you've never heard, emanating from orifices that you never knew existed, coming out there for about 12 minutes. And then he comes out and says, okay, what do you want to do? And I had to go to Tim Hortons to use the bathroom while I was staying there. So that's not the best way, is because they like to go to all-inclusive resorts for a holiday. So they don't have to do anything, they can lie around in the sun and be served and have everything done for them. So I just say, wherever you're going, let me know and I'll show up. So I showed up. And this is the best way to visit your parents, to go on holiday with them at an all-inclusive where you never have to really hang around them. Except like, dinner time where you see them every now and then, but you don't have to hear the honking, the squirting, and the sounds. And you can go for your morning walk on your own. You've got. I don't usually go to these places, but
I gotta hand it to those guys down in Mexico. When you fly Air Mexicana, they think of everything because they understand that not everyone speaks Spanish, so they have nice little pictures to help you understand the safety aspects of the plane. Like very simple illustrations. If the plane is going to crash into a mountain or crash into the ocean, you should bend forward and tie your shoelaces, or hit your head against the back of the seat of the person that sits in front of you.
I convinced them yesterday to go to the outdoor barbecue for dinner, which is a big step for Europeans. They don't like to eat outside. Eating outside reminds them of the war, after their house exploded. And so they're uncomfortable with that. In fact, even at home, when I used to visit them at their place, you had to eat inside and everything had to be closed. Like if you, by chance, left a window open in another room, you'd be sitting down ready for dinner and then one of the parents would, do you hear that? Did someone leave a window open? They call it la corriente, which is, it means the wind. And then they freak out. Oh my God, someone close the window. La corriente. We can't eat with la corriente. And it's all chaos and someone has to run around. And are there any other windows open? And they got to check the whole house. It's this big thing. And then the whole lecture on, you can't sit down and eat with the wind coming in. Are you crazy? So, eating outside, on the sand, out there, and with the wind and the sand, you're going to eat food? What's the matter with you? Well, I convinced them. Because it was like a big barbecue, they had lights, and they had all the... It was really nice, music and stuff, and the fire. Remember the fire? And they enjoyed it. So, they're stepping out. They're growing as people. They ate a lot, so They're growing in more ways than you could imagine.
And if you do land without exploding and you have to exit the plane quickly, you should push the person in front of you out quickly so that you can run out as fast as you can. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I got to get it off my chest right now. I got to explain it to you. So we had a little bit of a misunderstanding. You know, it's no big deal. Hopefully she's going to calm down. But the whole point is, like, she goes to the bathroom and she says, what's the matter with you? Can't you put the seat down? Every time I go in there, I have to touch the seat and put the seat down because you leave the seat up. Like, it's my fault. And so I thought about it and I retorted. And every time she goes to the bathroom, she has to put the seat down to do her thing, and then she leaves it down. So I go in there and I gotta take a leak. I gotta put the seat up. That's a very inconsiderate. But her retort was, well, every time she goes, she has to touch the contaminated seat to put it down. But I'm not contaminating it because I put it up first, and then I take my leak, and then I put it back down. So nothing biologically obtrusive has contaminated it. You see, but for her, when she goes in and puts the seat down and squats on there and does her thing, she has contaminated it. And if she leaves it down, I have to put it up, and I'm handling the contaminated seat, and I'm the guy in trouble here. Like, what's up with that? Am I right? Am I right? Huh? I might as well enjoy the view.
All right, I'm almost ready to go. It's not the best break, but we're going to give it a shot out there. So we were having a discussion at dinner time, and well, I say discussion, but some people could construe it as an argument, impartial observers. It's all relative, and I tried to explain to the family the whole concept of relativity and how arguments are, no one ever agrees and it doesn't really matter, and you got to chill out, because Einstein actually explained it. It's all relative, that what's something that you might consider being the same event observed by different people could be completely differently interpreted, right? And I explained the Einstein's thought experiment about the train and the light and do you know that one? It goes like this. If, let's say, you're standing on a railroad track. You're standing on the railroad tracks, and it's a storm and lightning hits. Two lightning bolts hit at the same time. 1 mile down the track to the east and 1 mile down the track to the west. They both hit at the same time. What do you observe? Well, in the time it takes for the light to come from those lightning bolts to you, you see the flash. And since one lightning bolt hit 1 mile to the east and one hit 1 mile to the west, you see a flash from both sides at the same time. And what you see, what you observe, is that there's two lightning bolts that hit simultaneously on either side of you. But then there's this woman on the train. You're on the train tracks, remember? And she's in the train and she's heading west on the train, and that's a really fast train. The train's going like half the speed of light. She's going there, and just as she goes by and you make eye contact with her and you're about to wave, that's when the lightning hits. What does she observe? Well, she's traveling west. So she's heading towards that lightning bolt that hits on the west side, and she's going at half the speed of light. So she's heading that way pretty fast, towards it, and away from the one that hit on the east. So from her perspective on the train, what does she see? She says, well, I heard two lightning bolts. One hit over there on the west, and then a little while later, another one hit. And you'll disagree. You'll say, no, they hit at the same time, I was there. And she'll say, no, I was there, I was on the train. One hit on this side and one hit on the other side. And I heard I saw two separate flashes of light. That was the whole point. The light and sound, I got them a little mixed up. But continuing the story, you see, it's relative. He did the thought experiment and realized that everything's bullshit. That's what Einstein really figured out. He figured out that everything that you see, know, or people tell you or that you're taught is bullshit, because it's all relative. You may believe something, but there's someone else that views it from a different perspective that has a different opinion and sees it differently. Not different opinion, I should rephrase that. Who actually observes it and senses it in a different way, so that they are so set and so convinced that they're correct, and you're so convinced that you're correct because you've both experienced it in your own ways, that no one can convince you otherwise. That lady on the train said, no, there were two flashes, one from the west, and then a little while later, one from the east. I'm positive. And then you're standing there and said, no, there were two flashes at the same time. And you can't agree. So what's the point arguing? It's relative. Which is, it should really be called the theory of bullshit. Everything's bullshit. There's no point arguing. You know, just have a tequila or a beer or a glass of vino and relax. That's basically all you need to know about all of Einstein's work.